Welcome to Mishnah Sanhedrin Perekem Mishnah Gimal. If you remember in last Mishnah, we spoke about if their testimonies contradict each other, right? Everything is thrown out. Their whole testimony is thrown out. Over here, we're going to speak about different types of discrepancies and whether or not their testimony stands or not. So אחד אומר בשניים בחודש, ואחד אומר בשלושה, עדותן קיימת. They ask the witnesses, when did this happen? One person says on the second day of the month, another person says on the third day of the month. So their testimony stands. שזה ידע בעיבורו של חודש, וזה לא ידע. Because one knew about the that last month was a was a leap month, was a 30-day month, and the other person didn't know. He thought it was 29 days, right? It's a couple of days in, and until the people hear about Rosh Chodesh, when it was, until the Beit Din announces it and it reaches the further towns away from Jerusalem, so it takes time. So one person knew, the other person didn't know. Harambam points out that this only applies up until the midpoint of the month, right? But if one person said the 16th of the month, and another person said the 17th of the month, even though it's only a day apart, their edut is batel, edutam betela, and the whole testimony is thrown out. Now, the next case is if one person says the third of the month, the other person says the fifth of the month, then their whole testimony is thrown out. One person says 2 hours into the day, the other person says it was the third hour of the day. Right? Their edut stands, right? Because that's close enough, right? Where you can get mixed up between the hours of the day. Right, everything over here is a shaut zamaniot also, right? It's based off the 12-hour date, 12-hour period from sunrise to sunset, divided into equal 12-hour parts. One person says 3, the other person says 5. 3 hours in the day, the other person says 5 hours in the day. Their edut is batil. Rabbi Yehuda argues on this, and he says no, their edut stands. But in the case of if one person says 5 hours into the day, another person says 7, then their edut is betela. Why? Because it's obvious the midpoint, the sun is right above you. So you can't make a mistake between 5 and 7. Because at 5 o'clock the sun is in the east, and ubasheva hamam marav, and at 7 the sun is in the west. And halacha is not like Rabbi Yehuda.